I'll switch it up. Yeah, you chose to sit there.
Well, I thought somebody would stay here, but it ended up being Milo. He's not going to answer anything. When I was a kid, can you guys hear me? Yeah. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a meteorologist. I wanted to like study, the weather and like go on TV and be like, "There's a hurricane, we're all gonna die."
You think you'd ever go back to that?
No.
No.
Actually, when I was younger, I wanted to be a geologist because I was really fascinated with just the rocks we would find and going snorkeling. Because I used to live in South Florida, and it just became super fascinating. And my father and my grandfather were in agriculture. So you learn, as a kid, you just like learn that kind of stuff. And even nowadays, I do collect dirt from around the world. And that sounds really nerdy, but it is.
No, I do the same thing.
Maybe
I'm not the right person to say it's not nerdy because I feel like.
I get excited when people are like, I have a dirt collection. What do you have? I have dirt from South Sudan, Israel, Kosovo, Macedonia, Philippines, Ireland, Colombia. So it's like. That's my little hoard of dirt.
So even though you didn't like
Everyone have a seat where we are.
you still find a way to like keep it as a hobby and like keep that going.
Oh yeah.
Squirrel. What did you want to be when you were a kid? Tall. A very small squirrel wanted to be tall when he was just a little squirrel. I think I share those same goals. I kind of like topped out here. And Splash.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be one of those people on the travel shows that just gets paid to go and eat food. Because I love trying weird food now, but unfortunately, I'm not able to enough to be a travel show host.
We can all do it. We can start like a free traveling show. We just all go together.
How hard would that job be? You get paid to get on the airplane, eat food, and stay in hotels.
Well, if you're like Anthony Bourdain was, he kind of he went to really good places and ate some really wonderful food, but then he also went to like the Masai Mara in Kenya and ate like blood organs. So I guess like you have to take the good and the bad.
I'm good.
So, Omnom, Seelig Mahira, you're not always going to be first in the round. So, I think most people know you in your current form, your squeaking flying squirrel. And from that, hopefully everybody knows this. Not only is he a flying squirrel in the fandom, but he's a pilot in real life, which I think that's one of the coolest things, to have a Sona that's a flying squirrel and then a pilot, like that direct connection to your career. Most people you may not realize that Omnom is actually a wonderful musician too. He's in a band. Yes, you are. You're really good. Singing, putting music together, all sorts of creative music talents. So what first sparked your interest in music and performing in front of live audiences?
Your nose?
Yeah.
He likes to show himself on the piano.
I think he's saying that he had a drum kit when he was a kid. Yes, yeah. A drum kit. And where did it go from there? Just the drum kit was the starting point of everything? It exploded. The drum kit or your career? Or both? Both. So what's cool too about Omnom is his band Run Definitely Run. They played at Fiesta a few times, and hopefully we'll see them again. Hopefully. I don't think Stable's in this room, so I can't really pick on him about it, but maybe. But they've actually been nominated for a few Grammys occasionally, right? No, not that band. Different band. Different band with Om. So not only is he talented with Run Definitely Run, but he has another music group that he's got awards with. Nominations, I should say. But maybe one day an award win, right? Hopefully. Bear with me while I try and translate squirrel this entire time. So, Splat. I've seen you talk about, I'm going to bring up here in a second, on Twitter a few times and on Facebook as well. And one common theme with your tweets and social media posts is that there's a lot more good in this fandom and in the world than there is bad. So, what is one time that you can think of that was just a really shining example of how good this fandom can be?
That's a hard question.
It doesn't have to be like the most amazing thing ever, but something that just made you think like, yeah, there are a lot of good people here.
You know what I see often is that someone falls on a really hard time, like maybe, they just got their fursuit and it was stolen or something, and, everyone bands together, just like a big family, and helps them out. And, it's anything from a stolen fursuit to, my house burned down, things like that happen. And you don't see this in many other fandoms. Everyone just bands together as a giant family and helps them. Yeah, that's one thing I love about this fandom.
Yeah, I think that's really wonderful too. Growing up, and I'm sure some of you can relate to this. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I grew up in Middle Nowhere, Arkansas, with like 300 people in my town, and a graduating class of 34. So you can kind of have an idea of how crazy that is. And I don't think I've ever really felt connected to a group of people until I joined this fandom like a year ago. And like now I actually have like a group of people. Like the Dallas community is amazing. People outside that community are amazing. I don't think I've ever met someone that I didn't enjoy like having multiple conversations with, which I think is pretty wonderful. So Padan, question for you. So I'm sure, as we all very well know, like outside the fandom, there can be this stigma around certain body types, or this image that, especially women, feel like they have to fit. Tall, skinny, lanky. And I know, like, growing up, when I was in high school, I felt like I didn't really even fit in, because I've actually lost a lot of weight from high school life. I felt like I wasn't as pretty as all the other girls. But what I think is amazing about your art, drawing these thick, curvy characters, I think it shows within the fandom that thick and curvy can be just as beautiful as anything else. If you could carry that message outside of the fandom, just normies, we can call them that, to the world, if you could carry that message to people outside of the fandom, what would you say to them?
Ooh.
This is something I've personally had to like the confidence of just being myself, because I was quite a lot heavier, and I've lost weight and I've got into fitness, but what I've really focused on was owning who I am, just owning it, and a lot of the time people really don't care how you look. I mean, society has really put this focus on you need to look pretty, you need to look professional, you need to look, you always have pristine. And if every day, people really don't care. If the people do care, that's not the people you really want to be around. But owning it, and if you want to change how you look, that's awesome. If you don't, that's also awesome. My big focus to promote just being healthy. But that's what I'd like to put out there.
Just learning to be happy with yourself.
Yeah.
And if you want to improve, great. If you're happy with yourself, great. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
So Majira, I do have to come back to you. So you can't escape every round. So we all know you as someone that creates like wonderfully funny and unique videos on YouTube. Probably some of the most famous videos in the fandom, I would say, come out of your channel. But what most people don't realize, you actually have a really good talent for creating really unique filmmaking style videos outside of the funny comical things that you see on your channel. And I saw this personally when you tweeted that friend video that you recently did, I think like a week or two ago. Did anybody else in the room see that? It got posted? That's pretty cool, right? So, yeah, right? I think I teared up too. So, we see your talent in these YouTube videos, but I think what that was something even more and even more beautiful than what you currently do. Would we be seeing more of that from you?
I would like to make more. The thing is about that video in particular was it was kind of a vent. I was feeling very, very frustrated with the community because of all the stuff going on Twitter. There's just like a lot going on within the last month. It's been really hard. And I was feeling really disconnected. And my friend Foxmore played that cover for me and sent it to me on Telegram. And I listened to it. I'm like getting emotional thinking about it, but I listened to it and I literally cried. Like it made me so emotional. And when I heard it, I was like, I have to make something for this song. So I was trying to think of something that's really positive and something that'll like make me feel connected to like kind of like my roots, like when I joined the fandom, why I joined it, like what I love about the fandom, and that's the friendships that I made. So I kind of did that, and I took it to like a storytelling level, and I have a degree in film, so that's I kind of get the cinematic and the directing expertise from that, and I just kind of ran with it. It took like 8 hours to do the whole thing. Like it took probably 6 hours to film it and like 2 to edit it. So it didn't take long at all. That's like a day. That's a day of work for most people.
Yeah.
So it's not too incredibly difficult to do. It's just I have to get the passion and the motivation to make something like that. I could make something. I could make anything like that like looks nice. Like I could go in the forest and like film trees and like have a nice depth of field or whatever. That's
I would watch it. I mean, for those that know me, I'd be all over that video.
But as for me doing more things like that, it's probably going to be more few and far between, just because I need something to spark it.
You like to have meaning behind it,
Yeah,
so just
exactly.
straight into direct.
And I think that's why it made other people emotional too. Like you said, you tried it, is because I have passion behind it. If I just made it like oh, this would get a lot of views, it wouldn't. I don't think it would have had the same effect.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. And kind of on a less serious note, circling back to music. Oh, no. Circling back to music, this is kind of a fun question for you guys, and I'll start with Splat, even though I pointed out Nom Nom. We'll start with Splat this time. If you could pick out a song to be your theme music of your life, what would it be?
You know, this song, every time I hear it, it makes me cry. It's Luckiest by Ben Folds. It's a beautiful song on how, you know, you just don't think things are going right, but you just randomly get these beautiful things that happen to your life. And yeah, I think that's my theme song.
I think that's a fitting song. Nom, what is your theme song?
Alexa, play Despacito.
Officially over. We're just thank you all for coming. Is that going to be your answer? What about your song from those live streams? Yeah. For you guys who don't know that, that's how his live streams and videos start out. So if you haven't watched his live streams before, I think you really should. If you don't want to watch it for the content, at least watch it for the theme song. Like, I think it's pretty wonderful, right?
Yeah, it's great, especially when you can't fall asleep at night and it's just running in your head.
Oh, no. So there's right sides of having theme songs and there's downsides, and that's probably one of them, right?
If you haven't seen it yet, I also played a song where I auto-tuned a bunch of people's voices.
Oh yeah, that's really
And
great.
it starts off with, "Hi everyone."
This is going to really date me, But when you gave me the little like, hey, this is what I'm gonna ask, I'm like, okay, what is my theme song? The A-Team, you know, like. No, like, because every time I watch that, I'm like, oh, I love it when a plan comes together. And I've told him that, like, when we're planning for a convention, and like, you know, stuff like, you know, oh, we get to meet these people. We're gonna go to this panel. We're gonna do this cosplay. And I'm like, I love it when a plan comes together. And I'm like, why do you keep saying that? A-Team.
I don't think that dates you at all. Like, I think everybody can appreciate a good theme song from a movie or TV series. Like, there's some songs I listen to, like, oh, I'm sure all of us know, like, the Jaws theme song.
Yeah.
If that's your theme song to your life, I'm a little concerned. But
So would I.
it's still catchy, right? Like, or the Halloween theme song. I mean, like, we're talking about 70s, 80s flicks now. So I think we can appreciate it regardless.
I'm very much a retro, like, I will watch, like, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yes! Retro for life!
Like, you know, when I'm getting ready to go to the gym, I'm like, I'm like, I need the gold chain.
Hopefully the screen doesn't like collapse on you guys because of school. Matira, your theme song.
The Jaws theme song.
Oh my god, why?
Bad things happen in
My
them.
real answer is Sexy Sax Man.
Oh my god.
How about Halloween?
You know what's funny is I can hear that very clearly in my head now. So now I know what splat means.
Speaking of
She
which,
hears
the new Halloween
theme
movie's
song in
coming
her
out.
head,
Yeah.
she's trying to sleep. It,
Pretty
like,
good.
haunts her dreams.
It's gonna ignore all the sequels.
So, Splat, going back to you again. So, I'm sure a lot of people know you and recognize you as Omnum's partner. You're kind of the Finnick that controls this world as much as you try. There's a lot of effort there, right? And that's what counts.
Yes,
But-
I try.
But you also have a lot of talents outside of just trying to wrangle small squirrels, I think. You mentioned a few of them when you introduced yourself. So you talked about you like drawing and painting and such. I think we've seen a lot more recently on your Twitter of your fursuit making skills. So what really got you interested in kind of like getting more involved with that?
Actually, I started sewing for cosplay back in like 1997 or so. But my first challenge in the furry world was making myself my own fursuit back in like 2012, I think was when I finally managed to collect all the fabrics and the sewing machine and all that stuff. And from then on, I've been trying to work with new and different materials that people haven't worked with before. Hence my lenticular lenses. Yeah. I work with a lot of weird, different things just because I want to try and be creative and innovative in the furry world to try new stuff. So I've done, things like different sealants with eyes and venting in heads just to make everything easier and more comfortable to wear. So that's what I really enjoy doing.
I think that's cool. Now, this has nothing to do with suit making, but it's a question for guys. So this is kind of going along the line of talents. We have a theme going. What inspired you to become an artist and kind of start showing the artistic side of you a little more?
How long is this panel?
An hour. You have 40 minutes, so if you want to talk 40 minutes about it, I'm sure they would be like, okay, good.
Yeah. And actually, my grandmother's an artist. My aunt's an artist. My mom's an artist. I will say my older brother's an artist. He's a musician, but both it's the maternal side that is very artistic. The watercolors and sculpture. So definitely, there's a lineage in my family of artists. But in school, I seemed to surround myself with other artists, and it cultivated. I ended up going to a magnet high school, which it's kind of like a private school, but specialized. So it was like the arts, like theater and music and dancing, and I was in the visual portion, and that really kick-started my passion for art. And then I did a couple of classes in college, but one thing that just really lit a fire under me was I got to experience a retreat called Illustration Masterclass, and their guest of honor was Mike Mignola that year. So if you don't know who he is, the guy who did Hellboy, yeah. And they had instructors like James Gurney, who did the Dinotopia books. They had Ian McKay, who did stuff up for Star Wars. These are people just like wandering around, and I'm like, just like, good Lord, the guy who made like the Captain Morgan logo. He did the full painting of the guy standing on the barrel, and it was just like I'm surrounded by like legends. To me, I got to meet Boris Vallejo and Julie Bell, and they did all those like 1980 movies posters where it's like lightning in the background and the guy's just all muscular and standing there. Yeah, if you see their art, you'll know who I'm talking about. But just they poured so much into those students that week that I felt like I got 2 years of college, like art college, crammed into a week, and that just from there I think it was a year later I started doing art full time, and it was just I still draw. I go to my notebook that I had that week, and it's just full of gold nuggets of just inspiration and like I could go on, but I'm not.
I think it's absolutely wonderful. Like some of those people, I don't have an artistic gene in my body. I don't know if Treble's in the room anymore, but I was trying to come up with a creative name for Lemon Brat, and all I could come up with was Citrus Brat, which was just like changing words out. And he said that's why we have you do social media for our cons and not creativity. So, right. I try. I'll do little sketches, but that's about it. But still, I think those people are like, they're still inspiring to me, and I don't do art as a career or as even a hobby, but I think it's really awesome that you got to be around these people. So, Majira. Hi. So, kind of following the theme a little bit, who's been your favorite person to collab with on your channel, and why?
He's the one I couldn't think of an answer for.
Oh no. You could say Milo again.
Milo.
Oh, that was for his channel though, it doesn't count. Oh, really?
So,
I'm sorry.
here's his problem. I collaborate with like mostly my friends, so I don't want to be like, oh, this friend's more fun than this friend, and I like this friend better. But I don't think I have a favorite person, but I enjoy collaborating with people who also do YouTube like as like a full-time gig, because I feel like when if you're just starting out YouTube, or like you don't do YouTube or whatever, there's like a different feeling about like filming in front of those people and like doing YouTuber things in front of those people, because it's like a little awkward. Like my old roommate, her boyfriend was over a lot, and I never wanted to like film videos when he was there, just because it was like I didn't want to hear me like talking to myself, like it's a little weird. And like even though I know he gets it, but it's like in my mind I'm like, oh, it's kind of weird. But when I like film videos like with my YouTuber friends, or even just like they're in the same room, I don't get that feeling. It's like we all do it, So I guess that's really my answer. I just like collaborating with my good friends.
I think that's a good answer. Circling back to theme songs, I kind of skipped over this earlier. I was going to ask it right after theme songs, and I forgot, but that's okay. So obviously music in movies, it's not always there just for the good or the exciting scenes. It can be there for the bad too. Say like a character like trips and falls, or something terrible happens to them. Which leads to my next question. What is the dumbest way you guys have ever injured yourselves? Who wants to go first? I won't single anybody out. So, it's yours.
Let me.
I hear squirrel sounds coming from like underneath the table.
We lost he escaped already.
Oh.
Is that how he? Yeah, that's his answer for dumbest way to injure yourself.
So I have like two.
That's fine.
So I'm only gonna tell stories related to Thursday. So, who went to TFS this year? I made a whole video about this, so I'll go over it really briefly. So if you want to know the details, you can go to my channel and check out the video. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Buy my merch, whatever. Anyway, so I'll go over it really briefly. So basically, on Thursday night at TFF, within 5 minutes of fursuiting, I broke my wrist. And I didn't really know that I broke it. It was like a contusion. It wasn't like a fracture or anything. But what happened was I got off the elevator and I was like ready to suit. I'm so sorry. My nose is really hard. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I got off the elevator and there was someone who was like, "Oh, I'm here. I love your videos." So I was like, "Oh, thank you." He gave me a hug. Hugged me a little too hard, and my chest popped, and I was like, okay, and I felt fine. When I woke up the next morning, I didn't feel fine, and for the rest of the con, I couldn't even full suit because I was in so much pain, and I was telling everyone like, gentle hugs, please, gentle hugs, I can't handle it. So all of TFF, my rib was messed up, and that sucks. So that's a really dumb way to get injured from a hug, I think. Another way I got injured is I was playing Twister in my fursuit, which is a recipe for disaster. I was filming a video, and I literally fell over and dislocated my shoulder. That really sucks. So fursuiting is dangerous.
I have two as well. Mine doesn't deal with fursuiting, but mine deals with food. Food, yeah. I can't show it right now, but I have a big scar down my arm from sugar. Hot molten sugar. Yeah. And that's why I don't bake anymore. Yeah, I was making a pineapple upside down cake and you gotta caramelize the sugar, and I went to lift the pot up and the whisk popped out and just gave me a good tap on the arm, and he was just in the living room and I said, ow. Like just that's all I said was ow. And I'm in the sink, trying to cool it down, get it off, and I'm like, this really hurts. And he's like, well, what really hurts? Oh, I poured molten sugar on me. He's just like, are you serious? And he's like, you see that, like, we're trying to peel it up. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine. It was not fine. It was like borderline. I probably should have gone to the hospital, but I didn't. But yeah, it was pretty scary. The other one was I stole a fry from my brother. And at the time, there's a reason why the stealing the fry is important. But my mom, like I said, she's an artist. She was a curator in a gallery, and she was actually being interviewed by a reporter during this incident. So it makes it even more embarrassing. But so I had stolen a fry, the McDonald's. But we were sitting in office chairs, and I was like scooting away, like, haha, I got the fry. Well, he came after me, pushed me, and where it was like linoleum switching to carpet, the wheel caught, and I fell over. Well, I fell over into a column that had and you're probably not going to believe me, but a spiked steel statue on it. Yeah, big like a Christmas tree ornament, like kind of like that. Well, it hit me in the head, and that's the first thing I was like, ugh, ow. No, but it went over and it went straight into my pinky. And so you can see it later, but like, it like punctured through my pinky and what came out the other side, so it just went ka-chunk. And I didn't know, so I'm like, you hit your head first, and that's the first thing you're just like, oh yeah, ow, And they came around because they heard the crash, and the reporter's just like, you're bleeding. I'm like, really? And they're like, no, your hand, and I'm like, ooh, That time I did go to the hospital. Yeah, it was pretty bad, but yeah, yeah.
Don't steal my brother's fry. Please don't.
So, Anam, what's the dumbest way you answered your phone? Underneath the table. That loud noise we heard earlier, that's his story. Yeah. Motocross. You rode off a cliff. What made you ride off this cliff? Yeah, you rode off a cliff. Why? Flying. He's trying to reach flight velocity. Did not work out, I'm assuming. Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh my god! I think he wins on this story.
I was practicing out at a practice track in the kind of desert area, and I didn't see the cliff, but the cliff saw me. And my bike didn't start either, and I had cracked a few ribs and bruised my kidneys, and I didn't have my phone. And I was with people, but I was off the cliff, not on the track, so they wouldn't find me. So I had to crawl up the side of this cliff. That was bad. Yeah, that hurt.
What about you, Splat? Do you have this as an exciting story as that?
Not as exciting, but I'm sure you've all heard about our special dog Hiccup. He had just eaten an entire tennis ball, and we had to bring him to the emergency vet to get it removed. So he had a cone on his head. So we got back to the house, and he was totally just drugged up. He would try to shovel his balls into the cone because he was really trying so hard to pick them up and carry them. And even just eating, he'd just slap his head onto the floor like a fish. But there was one day when his medication wore off, and he doesn't know how big he is. He's 92 pounds or something now. So he was barreling throughout the house, and I'm like, oh crap, there is this death machine with a sharp cone on, just running in the house. And I've been trying to avoid him for a week, the week, just because he'll just come running, and you're like, oh God, help! And then trying to jump out of the way. So I was walking down the stairs, and he's one of those ankle dogs that follows you everywhere, but sometimes doesn't pay attention to what it should be before or behind you. So I'm walking down the stairs, and I hear him coming down behind me, and I'm like, oh crap. So I'm halfway down a stair, and I grabbed the side railing, but it was too late. He hit me with his cone in my ankle. We walked down the stairs and bend my foot completely underneath, my toes just went like this under my foot. And I couldn't walk straight for a month almost. I was really sure all of my toes were broken, and they were purple, and yeah.
You are an ankle dog, though.
No, wait, you're the ankle size one. And then I have a really short other one, but back here in college, I spent a lot of time playing Dance Dance Revolution. I was actually competing at the time. I did a lot of competitions, and I just competed in a couple of really big ones. I went to one of them in Albany, New York, and I was halfway through a song, and I was doing great, awesome, great. And I was using the back railing. You know how they have back railings? And all of a sudden, I stepped back and misjudged my distance, and I hit my foot on the back railing, and I just heard a crunch.
You're fine.
And I just crumbled to the ground in the middle of thousands of people. And I ended up in physical therapy for 3 months because I couldn't even walk on that foot. I ripped something in it. My feet, I just give up.
We should just carry you everywhere. Should carry you everywhere, and that's what I'm learning right here.
I come to visit.
Aww. And you said you had the other one?
Oh yeah. So the first time I tried for the TFF dealer's den, I was sitting there, waiting for the whole, for the application because it's first come first serve. She goes, all right. And so, I got the application in, and I was doing a dance, like, oh, this is our first time doing it. I'm so happy. And I stood up and I made the mistake because I had been sitting on my foot, so I was asleep. So I stood up super fast, and I didn't have like.
See where this story is going.
I didn't have the strength to keep my foot straight, so I stepped down and it turned over, so I rolled my ankle and heard the most grossest sound come out of it. And again, he's somewhere out in the house, he was taking a shower, and I'm limping in the bathroom. Okay, this time I was crying, and I'm my ankle really hurts. And he's in the shower. He's like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "I stood up." And so I hop back up to the couch, and he comes out after getting dressed, and my ankle is swollen up purple, and I'm like, all I did was stood up. But I did get into the TFF dealers that year. Yeah, it was worth it. But also, I was down for 2 weeks, and that's what started. I stopped doing temp jobs. I started doing commissions. So I rolled my ankle, got into TFF. And I haven't gone back to doing any retail work or temp work full time.
Things happen for a reason.
Yes.
It may have been a painful reason.
Yes. But yeah, don't sit on your foot. I may do it, but don't sit on your foot.
So I actually have a story about not how I injured myself, but considering this is a furry con, and most of you probably, if you don't have a fursuit, you probably want one eventually. And since these people aren't here, I can tell this story without them coming up and beating me. This is a story about Bentley, Chef, and Drop Cheese. And you were here for this, actually. This was at VLFC this past year, a few months ago. Yeah. So do the motion again. Show them the motion. What are those? Scissors? Scissors. So this story involves scissors. And it involves a duct tape dummy. So we're in the room, right? And Drop is, he just got accepted to Lacey Fursuits. So he's really excited about getting his cheese brought to life. We're doing the duct tape dummy. We have 5 people or so in there. They get him wrapped up. Time comes to start cutting him out. And around this time, this is just a funny side note that makes the whole thing even more comical. Sky Cabot posts on Twitter that she's running around giving bread to people. And if you want a loaf of bread, she's going to come to your room. So I DM her and I'm like, bring us bread. So here she comes, right? She knocks on the door. And this is just an awkward moment for me because I thought it would just be Sky. And so I open the door, right? And I'm like, uh-oh, it's Wiggle Wibbleweed. And I say it like that, just being stupid. And there's 3 YouTube quality cameras pointed at me, and I'm like, and at that moment, Bentley was so distracted, he was cutting down Drop's leg, right? He was cutting down his leg. Oh, it's another foot story, actually. So he keeps cutting down, and when he gets to the foot, he doesn't turn, and he just cuts straight down. So it's at this moment, Wiggle Wiggly is happening, and Drop just gets sliced open in the background. So in the background of this video, Drop just loses all color in his face. He goes completely pale. It's another story of probably should have went to the hospital, but we didn't. We patched it up with Band-Aids.
I had an accident. I was in suit.
He was in suit and help.
I came back into the room right
Blood
after
everywhere.
this happened, and there's just it looks like they murdered a lark animal. Blood everywhere and bloody toilet paper. I'm like, oh my god, it was on for an hour.
We were trying our best. He's still in the duct tape dummy, by the way. That leg was just the first thing we had started on. So he's bleeding out. He's still in a duct tape dummy like this. And then blood, and Om comes back what the heck's going on? In suit, can't help. We don't have Band-Aids. There's toilet paper everywhere. It was, who would have thought that duct tape dummies or bread deliveries could be as exciting as they are? I actually recently did a duct tape dummy for myself, and the whole time, all I was picturing was this happening. So as Fuse is cutting down my leg, I'm flinching, which would make it worse because you're moving and there's scissors, but it didn't get cut. No bread delivery either. Neither happened. Huh? He threw me down on the couch and told me to lay there so I would get cut out and I couldn't move. I got stuck. So yeah, and he was just laughing and told me, "What did you say? You said something about a surgery, but you said it in like that voice." It's a common theme, you know. You start doing it ironically and then it consumes your life. So we got like 15 minutes. I have 2 more questions. This first one that I'm gonna go for is for Omnom. All of you can answer it if you feel inclined to do it. It focuses on him because of his music career. Now, I think that a lot of people, when they see well-known people in the fandom, they may think that you guys are just above certain things. Like, you're just so confident in yourself, you never get anxious, everything just goes completely right, and you're always comfortable all the time. As a musician,